you an athlete, school teacher, or maybe worked in a corporate world? Our careers, they tend to be the way that we identify ourselves. Now, what happens when that identity is taken from you? We found ours in real estate. Now, let us help you find yours on the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast, starting now.
Oh, welcome
nice.
to the Free Agent Real
Like that, Gerald.
Podcast. I'm your host, Stratton Brown.
And I'm the other host, Michael Butler. Thank you guys for joining us.
And we got an awesome guest on today, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who just closed a fucking banger of a deal. Banger. And it's not nearly the way you would think he did it either, which is why I think it's even better.
Hey, enough to go get that Dyson behind him, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
That's what he bought with that fat deal. That's what he bought.
It's on his wife's wish list right there.
Clean up.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please comment, tell us where you're from. We love everyone who tunes into this every week. It's growing week by week. I swear to God, we add a new watcher every week who stays consistent with us. And we're so thankful. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
What's your housekeeping stuff, Mike?
Hey, guys. Hey, same thing as always, right? Same shit, new day. If you guys are looking to analyze your deals, comp your properties, pull lists, skip trades, drive for dollars, whatever it is, you're looking to take your business to the next level, go ahead and hit up Propstream. Go to mainlinecomps.com, mainlinecomps.com, get your 7-day free trial.
And if you are looking to close more deals like this man, Gerald Rojas, and Michael Butler, and myself, and maybe even rip off a 200K or like Gerald Rojas through our business, go to callmagicians.com.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's going on, Aaron?
Saying it, you know?
Right?
What's going on,
Aaron? Sorry, what were you saying, Gerald?
Oh, you promoted my cold caller, man. I lost him.
Oh yeah. We had to promote Mac. We had to promote his cold caller to a manager. He was doing really good.
So how do you benefit from that, Gerald?
Oh no, he's the one that got that fish on the line for us.
You know, because I say that, I don't give a shit if Strat's on here, right? We gotta go ahead. We got a bone to pick for you, right? You get you a killer cold caller, and he gets promoted, so you just shit out of luck, huh?
Bro, he thought that with the last one too. His last cold caller had a bachelor's in, what was it?
I think it was a master's.
It was a master's in like biomechanics from UCLA.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, bro, we got great talent. Don't worry about it. He's gonna get another amazing one.
She was locking up deals in Spanish, like just tell her what to say, and she was
you had a bilingual cold caller from Call Magicians.
Oh yeah,
that ain't a plug.
But I mean, they don't come like Rebecca. I've yet to find someone as good as Rebecca. I'll be honest with you. I think Rebecca is like grade A talent. Like if she's in America, she's getting a job anywhere she wants.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
What's going on, Sue?
You got your wife. She loves the Dyson. Hey, I'm talking all the shit. I'm talking all the shit because I got one hanging in mine too. And those things are with kids, man, they're fabulous.
Oh yeah.
I don't got a cordless one though. I got a corded one. I love it. Best.
You gotta get cordless. You make too much money to not have to have a cord.
I just upgraded to a regular Dyson, bro. I had a Shark, and then I got a Dyson. I vacuum twice a week now. I don't care if it's dirty or not.
Shit. Here we go.
Let's go. All right, Gerald. So first off, let's hear about what you did for the first 40 years of your life. Well, what is it? 38 years of your life before you got into real estate, man.
Yeah. So I turned 40 actually this year, December 19. I'll be 40. So that big 40, it's coming on me. I would say probably the first 28 years of my life, I was just, I don't know, just hanging out, partying, trying to have a good time. I played soccer, but I think, I was on a traveling team. Did some boxing. for a little bit. But yeah, I was just trying to have a good time, just it took me 7 years to finish college. So I was
Hey Gerald, hey Gerald, I hate to cut you off, but is that the Brinks truck in your background that's delivering all that money from that deal?
I hear it backing up. I hear it backing up.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I just hear a truck, so I just assumed it was your money.
Oh, that's probably our AC unit that
there we go. There we go. Sorry to cut you off, man. I kept thinking it. My ADHD just kicked in.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I call myself kind of a late bloomer, man, because like it took me like 7 years to graduate college, not really knowing what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a CO, correction officer, but I just found like that environment, just being in that negativity, like all day long, just didn't fit well with me,
Without a doubt.
So I actually joined a Christian Bible club on campus, and that kind of sobered me up. I was pretty much a partying every day kind of person, and just started reading the Bible with a Christian club, and that became my drug. That became my high. Just learning about God and His Word. And so I just gave myself to that for like 5 years, full time. Went to a Bible school. That's where I met my wife. She's from the Philippines, and we actually met in South America. So we were on like mission trips, just preaching the gospel, giving away free Bibles. And then I came back and just wanted to give back. So I served on Fresno State just as like a campus minister, just telling people about the Lord Jesus Christ and about the Bible, and because it changed my life dramatically. Like, I mean, I almost died from drug overdoses a few times. I just felt like, I needed to give back, and then after that, I started working for one of our elders. He had a geotechnical soil engineering company, and he brought me on, said I was going to be a partner one day and run the company. I eventually, when I left that job, I was there for 7 years. I ended as a managing partner, but I only had like 10% equity share, which was okay. But I just realized, like, more and more responsibilities were being given to me, and the salary and the equity just really didn't make sense. Like,
what was the salary?
Like at full throttle, like our business was probably doing like $1 million, and then like the profit share was probably like 100,000 between like 4 equity stakeholders. And so like
you ain't making much.
My best year like was 75 grand a year, but I was busting my ass off.
No, for sure.
Yeah, working in the hot sun, soil. I pretty much worked my way up. So I pretty much started out playing with dirt, digging holes, sampling concrete, inspecting rebar. Just, it's hot. Fresno's hot. And then I worked my way into the office, and I'm sitting in front of a computer like 8 hours a day, like just doing nothing. Some days it was very unstable. So like some days were really a lot to do, and then other days I was just sitting there doing nothing. So
okay, but so to kind of get into that a little bit, right? So you're talking about you start doing this job. It's hard work, right? It's hot. You're making about $75,000, which, to a lot of people, if they're not in real estate investing, that's some good money. But, you said up to about 28 years old, you were pretty much partying. What were you doing before that? Like how did you make money before you started, before you found God, and before Sue changed your life, right? How were you making money at that point in time?
Oh, yeah.
Give us that.
Yeah, I had all kinds of odd jobs, like pizza delivery guy, just random stuff like
so just odd end jobs that kind of just feed that habit, right? The feed the habit of the drugs or the drinking, whatever that may be, right? So let's kind of put that into perspective, because you started working this job, and we could sit here and we could downplay $75,000, but that was pretty goddamn consistent, or stable from where you were at. So it would have been easy for you to kind of get caught in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was great income. It was great income. It's just, something came on my feed, on my Facebook feed. Some guy was, talking about Robert Kiyosaki, about that rat race. And I felt it, like I was in it. Like what he was talking about is like, okay, that's me. I'm tired of this. I want to change, right? So I was trying to buy a business. Like I was looking on businesses for sale, trying to buy a business, because my wife's family, they're pretty much like the Napa of the Philippines. They have, auto distribution. So that's a high bar, right? So, it's
a really high bar.
So like, that's like staring you in the mirror every day. It's like, man, like, how do you compete with that? So, so I didn't want to just be a bum and just kind of freeload off of my wife. My wife is an equity stakeholder. She gets profit sharing. And so I wouldn't be here today without her, So it just forced me to be hungry and drive. I mean, there were several businesses I wanted to buy, but my wife wouldn't sign off on it because we had no intrinsic knowledge of that industry, right?
Okay.
Love that.
So I had to put in the work. I had to figure out, okay, what can I learn? What can I do? And then real estate just made sense. So I just started digging into real estate. I first got into syndication. I was like, okay, I want to be a syndicator. I know some high level people, maybe one or two. And, but you need 25 of those.
Yeah.
And it's just hard. The entry for syndication is no easy task. I just heard people, skip over houses and jump right into syndication. So I thought, okay, well, I thought I'd do that. But so I probably wasted 1 year of my life doing that while I was still working. And then Fortune Builders came to town, and I said, oh, okay, I want to be a flipper now. My wife didn't allow me to sign up for that, $30,000
so they almost closed you. They did, but they just couldn't close. They couldn't close Sue though.
They couldn't close Sue. Yeah,
I love it, man.
Yeah, you can't put the wool over her eyes. Yeah. They had me. I was like, let's do it. But looking back, 30,000, that's a lot of money, and I could do a lot of damage with 30,000 now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't do it. I mean, yeah. But then, I started going to the meetups with you guys, and I started learning about wholesale, learning who all the players were. I heard Matt Garabedian on.
Was he at your first one?
No, it was Zuber. Zuber came down.
Okay. Zuber was number one. Yeah.
Met Stratton there.
And that was my first meetup also.
Oh, really?
My first meetup was Mike Zuber when he got on me because I hadn't read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right.
Oh.
He's like, you go read that book right now, which is crazy because a lot of people do get into real estate after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad and stuff like that. So I guess, that was kind of weird.
So many people talk about it. I already know what it's about. I still haven't read that book. I read the second book.
I read it the day he got on me.
You still haven't read it, bro?
No, I read Cash Flow Quadrant or something like that.
Okay.
They say it's a little better than Rich Dad Poor Dad, same principles and stuff.
It's more on I haven't read that one. Based off what I've heard people talking about, it's more once you kind of get going. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas Rich Dad Poor Dad is typically what triggers people to want to get out of that rat race or find different ways to be able to make that type of money. So you actually you skipped over the book, but you went to a more powerful one, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, I heard like Matt Garabedian on Real Estate Disruptors. You know, he was in our market, and you know, he started talking about, you know, Christ and God. I was like, whoa. I felt like I vibed with him really well, and I knew he was a big player in the market. So I said, I got to meet this guy. You know, I got to see what he's about. And you know, he had a program going on. When I went to him, I had 10 leads in my Podio. I closed 2 of those 10 leads. I closed 2 deals on 10 leads. But I knew I had a leads problem. Like for me, like generating a lead was like nails on chalkboard, man. It was just pounding the phones, like not fun at all.
And that's everybody when you first get started, man. I used to listen, just listen to Real Estate Disruptors and people talking about lead management and like all this shit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just trying to get some leads to manage.
Right,
you know what I mean? So it's funny as hell
God.
to look back on it and think that is actually a problem. Because back then, I mean, we were struggling just to hear anyone say like, I'm considering selling.
Right.
Well, I'm running into that now with storage, bro. Like to where I'm trying to get the lead machine going again, like we do in wholesale.
Like that was depressing hearing you say that right now.
Dude, we got a live one today off of mail. And I was yeah, bro, first one in forever, right? And we get just compared to, you can't do like the mass marketing with storage. Like there's just not as many people, right? To where bro, I can go to any city in America and just like, all right, pull the data, turn it on.
Yeah,
and we get leads. It's a whole lot different.
So it's just super funny to hear you say 10 leads at the time, just because it's like, bro, how you only get 10 leads?
Yeah. So and that was work. Like that was work. Like if I got a lead in a day, like I was happy. Like
100%.
I achieved something that day.
100%. So when you talk about another thing I kind of wanted to point out is, so the first time you heard of Matt, well, I wouldn't say probably the first time you heard of him, but the first time you actually like listened to him or met him, not even met him, but was just on Real Estate Disruptors?
Yeah, I've heard about him, but I didn't really know who he was until, Real Estate Disruptors. And that kind of like solidified it. I said, okay, he's a true player, right? He's legit. Because you can't get on that show unless you show your HUDs, right?
Show your HUDs, baby.
So that really solidified it as, okay, he's a big player. I want to just do whatever I can to be around him. And so he had an opportunity, it was $5,000 entry fee, and it was for a year of coaching and partnership where he would provide the leads and he would dispo the leads. So all I had to do is get really good at closing deals. And so that's what I focused on, like just focus on reading the books, I went to did the online Closer Olympics thing and just like worked on my craft, like studied like different closers, like how do they say the nuances and, just different little things, how they connect with people and the books like Influence, how to make friends and influence people, something like that.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
This one I'm reading now, Sandler.
There you go.
You can teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar.
Yeah. So I think it's dope because it kind of goes into some of the conversations that we've had before, Strat, when we talked about how there's a lot of coaching programs. There's a lot of people out there who wholesale real estate, and there's a lot of big players in the game. And so I think it was a blessing that you were able to run, which is crazy that you ran into Matt really for the first time, hearing him on Real Estate Disruptors, knowing that he was already in our market. But it ties into what we say when people don't know like who to really go after to kind of get coaching or to learn from. And we always say you got to find someone that you connect to, someone who has you got to vibe with them. You got to have the same principles and stuff like that. And we all know, Matt being a man of God and stuff like that. So I think it's dope that you were able to find somebody like that. And you actually, you took action. It didn't matter what the cost was at that point in time because the principles were the same, and I feel like when principles align to you, it was a safe investment because, any man, for the most part, any man of God ain't gonna sit there and rip you off like that, right?
Right.
But you knew he was a real deal just because he was on Real Estate Disruptors.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, even though like it was, looking back at it, it was a small fee. Like
bro.
It for sure ain't that now.
yeah. But at the time, like COVID just hit, and I had to pay like $2,500 for the leads, so it was a big deal. Like I was kind of like, I was on the edge. I didn't know, like, because it's a lot of money,
Yeah, but it solved the problem for you.
It really did, though.
Oh yeah,
that was the push button, right?
You had a lead. You had a lead machine. You had a lead issue, and he probably. I'm not even going to say he had a lead management issue, but his thing was he's going into a point where he's developing multiple streams of income.
You can't scale bigger at a point.
You can't scale bigger at a point, and so you provided us a value to him by being able to call these leads that he had. Right. And he had, it wasn't a money problem. He could buy the list. He could skip trace them. He just needed someone to call him and follow up with them. Right. Oh, yeah. Whereas you had a lead problem. So him being able to throw that stuff to you helped you grow.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
And so you went through, and real quick, what's going on, Noah?
What up, baby?
What's up, bro?
That's one of Gerald's partners.
There we go.
Yes, he's telling some people to listen up. I think it goes into, for the people who don't know how to generate leads, you did yours through Push Button CMO, and that's with Peter and Mark. Great people, great business, right? And they're like, hey, give us the money. We go take care of it all. And a lot of people are scared at the beginning to spend money on marketing, but that's why they have a lead issue. Like I offer mentorship, right? And the first thing the kid asked me, he was like, hey, do I have to get a caller? I was like, oh, fuck yeah, bro. That's why you paid me. Like we're getting callers. Like you got to get callers and you got to get texters so you can get that lead flow coming in. Because if you can double your output just from having an extra person marketing for you, you're in a significantly better place and you can do it at a really good price. And the more money you can throw at it, the better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And would you have done it without Matt? Would you have thrown all that money at marketing if you weren't with Matt's mentorship?
Oh no, man, no, not at all. Like my wife's Asian, bro. Like I can't spend $1 without it being accounted for.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time the card swipes, there's an email for $1.
That's amazing.
I mean, you need that though. But I mean, that's what it's all about though. When you're just getting started, I think everyone should do mentors. What's it called? I did some mentorship with Noah. Then Noah went to Pace. What's it called? I've done, and now I'm still paying for mentorship. Oh yeah, because there's just people who are there, and we probably talk about this every week. But I think it is so big. Like everybody, NFL players have coaches. Tom Brady has a coach. That means you can go get a coach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like my learning curve, right? Like just exponential, like without someone like Matt in my corner and this deal, right? Like this deal wouldn't have happened if I didn't have Matt in my corner.
Let's talk about it, baby, because I know this one made you uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable when you told me about it. So go ahead and tell me.
And I was working it too. And he told me the offer he had on the table was like, bro, I'm not giving you that. I have no idea how I'm gonna fucking just do that. Like me and Zuber were working it. Yeah. And I went over there, I talked to the guy who was a great guy. And I didn't even know you were working it. And he told me like the terms. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what? Who the fuck is offering you this? No, I'm out. Take that. Like, take that shit and run.
But notice you hear those terms. You hear the terms and you're like, fuck, I'm not even, I don't have the time or so in your mind. It's really fear. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know where to start to break that down. I don't know who the fuck I'm going to take it to. I'm out.
Bro, I had no idea. So like I got the terms, but then I was like, how in God's name would I sell this? Like who would want to put that much down? And so explain where the lead came from, then how you broke it down. Because we offered owner financing at the beginning and he was about it. And then you came in and you fucked the whole thing up.
So tell us how you closed it and Strat couldn't.
Well, I would say like a big lesson that I probably have learned in the last couple of months is, and this came from Matt, is always take the path of least resistance. Whatever the seller wants, you just go down that path. You want 5%, you go down that path. And then you get it under contract, right? And then if you need to change it, you change it if the seller's willing. And if you need to cancel it, you just have to cancel it, right? So
that's what I need to get over. I need to get over that shit. Cause like you need to get them emotionally bought in. Like they're fucking in it now. Right. Yeah. And then after that, once they're committed and like once whatever it is psychologically, once someone signs that piece of paper, that's a big deal to them. Then like they have the fear of missing out and that money's already fucking spent. That money you said he's going to get. Yeah. That was already spent as soon as he signed that. So he's now fearful of what's going to happen if the whole thing falls out and he has to find a new buyer and no one else was going to give him the terms you guys gave him either.
Right. So yeah, that's a big lesson I've learned. Always take the path of least resistance. In the past, for me, like, I don't want to cancel a contract. I just feel like I just don't like the feeling of doing that. Like, I want to perform. Yeah. So I go in hard negotiating to a price where I know I need to be at. But sometimes I talk myself out of deals doing that.
Yep.
Like,
nickel and dime yourself out of it.
Yeah. It's like, they're just not feeling it.
Yeah.
So, the call came in. The lead came in through Call Magicians. Awesome cold caller, Max, my Spanish brother from Mexico.
R.I.P. Max. Now in management now, man. He jumped off the deep end.
Yeah. It was 9 units. Came in the Podio, 9 units. The guy wanted $950 cash. So, okay, let me just jump on the phone with him, and give him the whole rundown. If there's no real estate commissions, we buy it as is. We pay all the closing costs. Blah blah blah. What's the best you can give us? They came down to $850. Said $850. I said, okay, yeah, we can do $850. Sent over the contract, cash deal. But he never signed it. And I did plant the seed, of carrying the note, save him on taxes, because I knew he bought it for like $400,000. So I knew he had a tax problem. So I just kind of put that seed in there. I always go for the cash offer, just what I've been taught by Pace. Always go for the wholesale. So I went for the wholesale. But planted the seed of seller financing it, but he just never signed it. So called him back, talked to him a little bit about owner financing, and he was more open to it. And then
how'd that conversation go?
Real quick, where was he going to put the money? I think that was a big reason. That's why we threw it out. Where did the seller want to put the money?
So he was going to put the money in some kind of trust syndication,
a REIT. He was going to put it. He was going to put it in a REIT.
Right. He was going to put it in a REIT, a commercial REIT that was promising 5%. So he was stuck on that 5%.
5%. That's where the terms came from. I see you.
Yep. Okay. He was stuck on that 5%, and then basically I took it to a point. I didn't push it over the hill. Matt really pushed it over the hill. So I think having someone with credibility, a broker, someone who's been in the business, we got on a 3-way, and Matt basically pushed that puppy over the hill.
And here's how here's how people like that are able to do it. And we run into that a lot because we do JV deals with home helpers, right? With Lewis and Dean. And so whenever a situation like that comes up, again, I don't have a lot of experience in that, whereas they have a lot of experience when it comes to commercial development, new construction, just all this stuff, right? And so those are conversations that I do leverage those relationships, because I can give you kind of like, the spark notes of it. But it's something to be said when someone can get on the phone and talk terms with you and literally, use that terminology and come off, and not even come off, because it's just experience, right? It's just they're confidence, bro. It's confidence when they have that conversation. And so it's something about that, I believe, as a seller, when you hear that confidence in someone talking these terms and stuff like that, that's going to close you. And so that's the value that Matt was able to bring to you, was just his experience, dude.
Oh yeah,
because we couldn't have that conversation and feel confident 100% in that conversation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he painted the perfect picture. Like this guy's, this guy's why, right? He didn't have pain. He had a why. Was 5%. Put that money that is unsecured into a REIT.
Fuck. So if I can give you 5%, what does that put
the asset
into a retail, asset that's unsecured. Matt painted the picture, beautifully. It's like, this is unsecured. Those apartments better than anybody. Your money is secured against this asset that can perform. That's already performing and is just going to perform better.
I can give you that 5%.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Bro. And so what's it called? We're all filling. We were trying to get it for, I think I wanted to be like 60K max down. That's what we were trying to get it at. I was like, I'm not trying to come in here with a bunch of cash. And that goes again into, you have that partner who will bring in the cash and feels confident, to where when me and Mike looked at it, he was like, bro, like, I don't want to go into it for a lot down. This is where we're at. And it was more of a square hole round peg, right? To where like we're trying to make it work a million different ways. And when you're structuring owner finance deals, when you go low money down, your cash flow is going to be really, really low. And so one thing that we had to think about exit strategy wise was Airbnb. And so like we were talking to Kyle, I was like, bro, how the fuck are we going to do this? If we do take this down, then we're like, okay, we got to have 60K down. And then like, okay, if we put it on Airbnb, then we got to have $1,500 for every unit for cash for keys. Then we got to have enough money to turn over every unit. And he wants a certain payout on prepayment penalty. So we took all that into consideration, and then it scared us off, right? To where like, I'm thinking like, okay, I would have to come to the table with $200,000 down. That was our exit strategy.
Yeah. He gave us no prepayment penalty. We actually asked for $50,000 down, and he was okay with that until he talked to his CPA. Obviously,
bro, his CPA
they fuck everything up, bro. I swear to God, they do.
They fuck it all up.
His CPA, he wanted a little bit more. Okay, how much more you want? 100,000. Okay, no problem. 100,000. But still, like the beauty of this all is like the seller, the wholesaler, the end buyer, we're all happy.
Nice.
The seller got his 5%. The end buyer still got a wholesale discounted property, because that property, we did the comps. I mean, there was a cash sale of a 9-unit that sold for $1.1 million.
Okay. What were the final terms of this before? Because I don't want everybody to get lost and stuff like that. What were the final terms, and what did it dispo at?
So we contracted it at a purchase price of $850,000 at 5%, with a 10-year balloon on a 30-year payment structure. The guy's willing to extend it to 15. He just wants his 5%. He's willing to keep extending it. Yeah. So those are great terms. It's a commercial loan. I mean, commercial loans are like 6% at least.
Yep.
And so there's a huge upside in rents. I think the average rents are probably like $750 when they should be around like $1,200.
What were they? 2 1s, 3 1s?
2 2s.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they're 2 2s, like 2 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and they were in. I mean, most of them, probably 80% of them, were in really good condition. The guy was like a really good mom and pop landlord. Like, took pride in all his properties. Tiled everywhere. Some of them had carpet, but they were in good condition, really good condition. So
and so you disposed this, I'm assuming, at around $1 million.
So we Yeah, so we disposed it for a $200,000 assignment fee. So that's $1,500,000, right?
Did you? What's it called? Did you arbitrage the down payment? Because you didn't change the purchase price. You just arbitraged the down payment, right? So like you just said,
so
all the terms are going to stay the same.
Yeah, the terms stayed the same. The end buyer paid the $100,000 down payment, and then an assignment fee of $200,000.
Yeah, so you arbitrage the down payment because you can do.
Yeah.
What's it called? You could. One thing that people do to stay secure in these things, but your buyer obviously is legit.
Right.
Is that they will stay in between just in case something falls out. So if you guys are doing like owner finance stuff and you want like to make sure it performs throughout the entire thing, that way you can foreclose on the next person and you're pretty much doing a wrap, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And that way you can feel a lot more confident when you're bringing in that second buyer, if it's not someone legit like you brought in. And that way, if anything bad does happen, you have time to like figure it out.
Get it correct.
And your name's not on the line with that seller.
But again, having Matt, right? He was able to vet that buyer.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that brings a whole nother level of security. Like, fuck, man, this business can be scary. It can, you know, I mean, your nuts can be on the line. And so just having somebody who know what the fuck they're doing, to be honest with you, can sometimes make a lot of these transactions a whole lot easier.
And honestly, like Matt and I, obviously myself, but surprisingly, Matt, we really didn't know what we had. We didn't know what we had.
So you sent it out.
Because at 5%, there's no cash flow.
Thank you. There's no fucking cash flow.
There is no cash flow. You're paying the guy $4,000 and the property probably generates like $4,500. There's no cash flow. So we really didn't know what we had. We thought we were going to take it down ourselves, honestly. And then Matt sent it out and he came back. He's like, I was looking at this deal a little bit closer and I didn't know I thought it's better just to get the money now. He said, you're going to love me. He said, you're going to love me. I said, brother, I love you. You're my brother in Christ. I love you. And he said, we're going to sell this for a $200,000 assignment fee. I was like, what?
Did you turn and tell your wife?
I did. And
he turned around and said, hey, babe, we about to make 150 on this.
But we've learned, especially me, I mean, and my wife too, it's like, it's not done until it's done.
Ever.
So the whole time it's like there was just no emotion, like no up, no down, just chilling. Like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, we're getting 9 units.
Yeah. So the time that you guys locked it up to the time that you guys closed on it, how long was that escrow?
Oh, it was probably 40 days, 45 days, 45-day escrow, 45-day escrow.
Nice. And that's pretty goddamn good for us.
But that's good.
Purchase price that damn high with those terms.
The inspection periods and everything else, right? Because when you guys start to get into those bigger deals,
stuff like that.
Well, you're going to have longer timelines because these people are like, no, I'm throwing in a lot of fucking money. I'm not just doing some cash shit unless I'm buying it deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing I've experienced. And what title company did you use?
We use Placer. Yeah.
No way.
Who had Placer?
Lupe Prado.
Lupe. It's my girl.
How did that assignment work?
My girl right there.
Well, they told him we're assigning it. They just said they told the buyer that
the seller.
Yeah, they told the seller that those guys are assigning it, but he was cool with it. Like
he just wanted his 5%.
He just wanted his 5%.
So I guess what is the rule right now? Was it 20% or 16% of the purchase price?
20%. So we kept it.
How you kept it under 20%?
Yeah.
On a dot, huh?
Yeah. 850,000, 20%. What is that?
Oh my goodness.
200,000, right?
Bro.
I gotta know what that is.
What is it?
He's doing the math right now on his phone.
Oh, it says 170. It says 170, but I think.
Well, by the time you add it, but so what I'm learning about, kind of getting through kind of on that loophole is that at that point you kind of invoice the title company. You just let them know pretty much the time for your services, inspections, all those things. You just send them an invoice. So you guys are short probably about 20,000-30,000. So the time that you guys put into the deal, the resources that you used on that deal could add up to about the $30,000.
So here's the nugget. Like, Matt does so much business with Placer, they go straight to upper management and say, get this approved.
Oh yeah,
they have to. Losing someone like that, man, will hurt the brand.
Oh yeah, like waive this 20%. Where'd this come from? This is stupid.
Because I mean, that's kind of something that they use for the people who are just getting into wholesaling. Not all of them necessarily know what the hell they're doing. There's going to be an upset seller somewhere, and it's going to come back on the title company. But when you're using someone, like Matt, or just one of us, right? Someone who brings business to them, someone who's credible, stuff like that. They're not worried about there not being a lot of disclosure to sellers and stuff like that. So.
Right. Yeah, we have all the disclosures. Like we could assign this right for a fee for profit.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
it's right there.
Dude, that's amazing.
So did Mondo meet the seller ever? Like, how did that Passover go?
No, he never met the seller. Like the seller called me. He was a little bothered. He's like, there's a discrepancy here because the interest rate is actually 5.026 and it got written up as 5.00. And so he wanted his 0.026%.
He being greedy now.
And I was, okay, we'll get that fixed. And then he was just like, yeah, I don't know, whoever the end buyer is, I don't know anything, but whoever that is, I guess they're signing on Thursday. Oh yeah, we're supposed to sign on Thursday. So yeah, it was just one of those that would go smoothly. I mean, we just did a deal, like we got $5,000 on it, and it just took so much effort. And I'm still talking. The seller and the end buyer still call me. Bro. It's just a headache. And this one is like just smooth as butter, man.
That's usually how they are. Like
I want to add on to that, Strat. Go ahead, bro. We got a deal that we locked up. Looked at the numbers. I thought it was tight, but again, I'm trying to get over the fear of just like not locking stuff up because just maybe I'm just not finding the comps, right? You know what I mean? Like just it's close enough to just lock it up. And so we do that. We go to dispo it. Bro, bites. We're getting bites, but it's like $5,000 under where we locked. And so it was like a blessing that we even got it locked up at the purchase price, right? So we go ahead and we dispo it. We're sending it over, and we're not making no money on this. We got it at 150, dispoed it at 150. It's just a fucking grimy ass deal. And I must got hit up by this damn seller so many times. And at some point he goes, Are you wholesaling this deal? And I'm like at this point, it's like, what, he think I'm gonna lie to him? I'm like, yes, bro. I'm like, yes, we're wholesaling this because the numbers didn't work. Like, you knew they weren't gonna work. You know what I mean? You knew that it would be tight. You knew it would be tight. And I was like, to save this deal, just to make sure that we're able to do what we said that we're gonna do. Right. We're gonna go ahead and we found a buyer for you at the purchase price, just to make sure we're able to take care of you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, if you don't make no money, then that's my bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I told you this is what we were gonna get you. That's what we're gonna get you. Right. That means I don't make nothing. I don't make anything. And bro, like, I got hit up so many times about it, and I just had to keep telling myself, like, at the end of the day, it's a service. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm salty as fuck. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still salty, dog. So yeah, it's those small ones, man. Where
those small ones, at you, dog. Yeah, it's better just to pass on them. Yeah.
It takes up a lot of mind space, dude. And like that time and energy that you have to put into that tour, if you focus that on, let's say, one that's like 4 times the size.
Exactly.
It's the same amount of effort. Like the biggest issue for all of us is just thinking bigger, to be able to do bigger deals.
Right.
Hey, Ken Roberry, what you angry about, huh?
I want to talk about the confidence you had to have in the buyer to perform, because that's my biggest thing with wholesaling under finance deals. I wouldn't really ever do it because of the trust that I have to instill in the seller that I'm going to perform for the next 10 years. Right? That's what scares me, right? And that's why I'd want to always stay in the middle, just in case something goes wrong. I know, because the seller's calling me, they're not calling them. Right. At the end of the day, right? Because I'm the one who brokered that transaction. And having and it was Armando who bought it. Armando's the cartel, right? Armando buys it all. Armando buys it all. And just having the confidence in that buyer, knowing that he is going to perform, because there's not a single fucking property I have ever sent them that said they'll take it that they did not perform.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that was really important to Matt too. It's like, we want to find someone who's gonna perform, not mess around, and operate the property well. So
not be a slumlord or nothing like that. All right, so fast forward, closing day. Right, you guys get that email. We are on record. Congratulations. Right, you get a check or do you get a wire?
I got a wire from Matt. I got a wire
same day, right? You close early enough in the morning to get it same day.
So the deal on this one was Mondo wanted us to pay the closing costs.
Fuck it, whatever.
Did he really?
So we had to wait for the closing docs, to come in, and escrow or title had to, refund Mondo's team, and then they had to wire that over to Matt until we got our balance, until we got all balanced out. So it took a few days. Few days.
All right. So now you get the little notification. The money done came in. What was that moment like? Because it's life changing in the beginning to make $10,000. I can only imagine what it's like to get damn near 100 grand,
bro.
That's fucking crazy.
Honestly, bro, it's like I felt like there's something wrong with me, bro. Like, when in the NBA, when they make the three, they go like ice in their veins.
Yeah. Oh, you got ice in your veins. It came through. He was like, ugh.
It's like clutch. Like, it's you just
clutch shit.
Like, you don't even like I just, in this business, because there's just so much up and downs. It's like you have to like stay level. Like, it doesn't matter if a deal closes or not. You just gotta stay flatline. Like, you're almost dead. Like, you're almost dead. Like, you don't even have. I didn't have any emotion, honestly, bro.
When we were at Fresno State, our special teams, we had it was a special teams constitution. Strat, that's way before your time, man. Coach Baxter had already been gone. But one thing that was in there, and I think we lived it pretty damn well, was you celebrate all victories. So whether that means you won that play, whatever it may be, like, you celebrate those victories, because like you said, this business is so up and down. You got to fucking celebrate those. You know what I mean? Right. Because who knows what you might go through before you get to, something else, something
another fat
rip like that. Right, you know what I mean? So that's definitely something to celebrate, man, because that shit doesn't happen, bro. I rip off 50, 60, 40, 50, 60, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you used to make 75 a year.
I know, right?
Motherfucker, you made that in a month.
I know. I guess it's unreal. Like, it really hasn't hit me. It's just, weird. Like,
being stoic is good, though, I think, as an entrepreneur, just especially in this shit, bro. I'm gonna make $250,000 this month, right? You think that you got all these leads lined up, you got all these deals lined up. It's about to be the biggest month ever. All of it goes to hell. Every single last deal goes to hell. You end up making 20 to 15 grand, and you're just sitting there.
That has happened to me. Not 250, but that happened.
That amount that happened last year, right?
It happened. Like, I had like 6 deals locked up, and for some reason, it just all fell from the sky. And then like I was dry for like 90 days.
Bro, that's the worst.
And so just staying consistent, doing what, just keep doing staying consistent, keep at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, talk about how many hours you work a day. So I was picking my son up from speech as Gerald's dropping his son off at speech.
Right.
Gerald's like, I don't know what to do with my time anymore, bro.
I came to Strat and I was just burned out. Like these leads, like, I mean, just because they come in your podio, I mean, they're just normal leads, right? Mm-hmm. But they drain you. Like they drain your energy. They drain your everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, bro, I need a leads manager. So I just wanted to pick Stratton's brain on a leads manager, and he encouraged me that I needed one, and so I got one, and it has taken a huge load off my plate. Like
as soon as they come in, go ahead.
Oh yeah, he everything that comes in, he touches it and puts it in a bucket. If it needs more follow up, if he needs me to look at it, where do we need to be on it? And so I just, plug and play. Okay, we need to be here. Oh, just don't worry about that. On to the next one. So, I mean, I'm probably 1-2 hours a day. Like 2 hours a day is a lot for me. Probably 1 hour a day. I just have one cold caller. My wife texts, we started texting again. She's texting. And
how's that going? When did you start back doing that?
I started probably 2 months ago.
And how's that going?
The government just dropped a.
Yeah. Hey, Strat, get your negativity out of here. I want to know how it's going for Gerald.
I've been getting some good leads. Yeah, I've been getting some good leads, like at least like condition and motivation, on some of them. But it's taking a lot more leads. Definitely a lot more leads.
Yeah, I can see that because I started doing it again too.
I've heard that it's mass texting is not not allowed anymore.
It's like they legitimately came out with the law saying it's not legal
to mass text.
For whatever reason.
So what's the difference between me just sending someone a text message on my cell phone?
That's where the gray area is.
So what's the difference between on batch where you're just fucking?
Batch is making their system as compliant as possible. Let's say that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, how do you define mass? Like, are they like literally
if it's software? And like if it's opt-in, like a lot of people like, so now the carriers want like actual opt-in data to send out a text. And so that's the next thing that's coming up, right? So you're going to have to go pay for data that's been opted in for whatever way online. You get all their info, and then you can actively market out to them. You don't have to have all that fucking garbage language in there.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about someone coming after you and anything else because it's actual opt-in. That's where all that's coming from.
Whatever. It's way too difficult. So that means people are going to make money in text messaging because that shit sounds so difficult. It's the path that not a lot of people are going to fuck with. And so then people are going to start closing massive deals through SMS.
Scrub all of your lists against litigators because someone can ruin your entire life. Let's just say that.
Bro, they can't sue me. I'm broke.
They can place a judgment on your head.
I don't have a job.
Batches, they're starting to offer direct mail now. Batch. So
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, batch mail.
It's gonna go back to direct mail, probably PPC.
Well,
I've been doing direct mail.
I like inbound leads. I like inbound leads a lot.
I told you I sent out like 100 and something letters, and I got like 3 calls back. That was fucking phenomenal.
That's really
good. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's fucking phenomenal. So I actually just this week, I was like, hey, because I only sent out that one batch, and I know you got to do it for 6 months. And it wasn't that I only did it for 1 month because of a money issue. It was just more of what it was taking to get that. It was a lot of effort, and so I got to get a better system on being able to do that. And before that, the niche that I'm going, it's not that many. And so it was like I needed to kind of get it going, because even to use yellow letter, you needed to have at least 50. And so I just got to find out a better system on that. But this week I was literally just saying, like, hey, I got to go back to that, because you're onto something right there.
Yeah. So what are you guys going to buy with that fat check, that fat wire you just got? Like, what's something you've always wanted?
Honestly, like what we're doing now is like everything that comes in from wholesale is bottom line, except for my operating expenses. So everything I get is pretty much going into investments. Investments is mainly private money lending is what I'm doing now. So that's mainly what I'm doing. I'm gonna, I bought an Amazon store. Matt's on me to buy a Walmart store.
Returns are crazy. The returns are looking pretty crazy. Ours is getting built right now. Returns are crazy.
Nice. So I mean, that's
hop on, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's pretty much like I just told my wife, like it's just a game. Like we're playing a game. Like this is like
Monopoly, baby.
Cash flow. I played cash flow for the first time like a week ago, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like a game. Like
it's real life, man.
10,000 assignment fee. Oh, Airbnb, Walmart store.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, talk about that package you and Noah just took down real quick.
Yeah, so that we got that off of a referral. We performed on a seller carry note, and then the seller had some more properties and say, hey, we want to do some more notes with you, and that was 5 doors. 5 doors. There's a duplex, and the rest were condos, and for all 5 doors we put down $10,000, and then Noah's going to turn it into an Airbnb. I decided not to do that, just assign it to Noah, just because the rehab. I just didn't like the fact that they were condos, and condos can come in and shut you down, shut down your operation.
Well, from my understanding, Noah does a lot of Airbnb, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like
savage.
I was about to say, from what I've heard, I think Noah, and I had to make sure I had the right person. So you might have, I mean, you kind of probably could have stuck with it, because I just learned about for a while when I was learning a little bit more about Airbnb, it was just like I was just avoiding condos just based off everything that I heard. And then just recently I was hearing something about like a 30-day minimum and stuff like that. And so when you start having these contracts and connections with more like agencies, like for the traveling nurses or any type of working professionals, it's easier to structure those arrangements and those contracts based off of what the HOA allows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it actually ends up being pretty damn smooth, because you're really not having to deal with the HOA because you're following all their guidelines anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, Noah's a killer, man. And actually 3 out of the 4 condos, they were 1-month minimum leases.
Yeah.
And so the 4th condo was, they wanted a 12-month lease, but the others just wanted a 1-month lease. So yeah, Noah can do that all day. Like for me, I felt like real estate is a team sport, and I like to see other people win too.
Yeah.
So
everybody eat, baby.
Yeah, I love to see Noah take this down, and do really well, Airbnb in it. He's going to take it down all himself, turn it into Airbnb, and hopefully, cash flow a lot of money.
Nice, man.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, we're about to wrap this thing up. Where can people find out more about you?
You can follow me on Instagram. I'll try to be a little bit more active at Gerald Anthony Rojas.
There we go.
Instagram.
There we go. All right, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Fattest deal I've heard of that I personally know. Well, no, Matt did another one similar on an apartment complex, same type of deal, and it was for $300K.
Wow. I'm a little upset because I felt like it was a lot of like other topics that we kind of wanted to touch on. We didn't even get that deal was so
bro, like hold up, the 4 kids. But I mean,
you know what I mean?
But like, okay, let's real quick. We'll go over because like you've set up your life to where now you have VAs running your business.
Right.
You only work an hour to 2 hours a day, and then you get to spend time with your 4 kids. I struggle with 1.
Bro, the 4 kids is one thing, but he's moving to St. Louis.
Oh yeah, bro. Why are you moving to St. Louis? Let's talk about that. I thought this thing was gonna wrap up.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was things I wanted to touch on, but shit, you know.
Next time.
we could do that. Maybe we'll get you on like an Instagram live or something, man.
Yeah, let's get you on Instagram live, bro.
I want to be mindful of everybody's time, and an hour usually at 7:30 at night. I understand that can be steep. Everyone's wives is looking at him like, you still on that shit? You know what I mean? So but we are right, guys. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for getting on here and
thank you.
Blessing our audience with you, man.
And sharing your knowledge, bro. And again, congrats. You have no idea how hyped I was when you told me it closed.
Wow.
I was hyped, right? Just because when you talk about it's not over till it's over, and I know how bad it feels if something falls out and it's that big.
Oh yeah,
I was rooting for you the whole fucking time. Bro, like, oh, you got this.
I appreciate that.
You got this.
That's amazing, man. Couldn't happen to a better person, man. It's about as genuine as it gets, man. And we appreciate you. And it was a huge honor being able to get you on here because, again, I don't know about Strat, but for me, I feel like we got a lot of big players in our market.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not. We nowhere near Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? But we got some consistent hitters here doing some big things and. Typically in whatever niche that you're interested in, there's somebody here doing it. You know what I mean? So it was great getting you on there and being able to expose you to everybody else. And thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm honored, guys. I really appreciate what you guys do for the community.
Yeah. All right. If you're looking for any type of virtual staffing, if you want to close $100,000 deals every other week.
Not with Max, though. Now Max. Disclaimer: results may vary. Go to callmagicians.com. You might get 80. Hey guys, and if you're looking to scale your business, take it to the next level. If you're not getting a VA through Call Magicians, right? You're doing it all yourself. You're analyzing your company's deals. You're running your comps, skip tracing, mailing, doing all these things. Man, go ahead and go to Propstream. The link is mainlinecomps.com. mainlinecomps.com. Get your 7-day free trial.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you would like to stay in touch with Stratton and myself, follow us on Instagram. And please be sure to subscribe to our Free Agent REI Podcast YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up.